Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions video of Scholars of the South Tigris. So I just got this a few days ago. This was a Kickstarter back. I did back this on Kickstarter. So this is a Euro engine building game. Now, if you know me, I do not like Euros. I can't stand them. My problem with Euros is that most of them feel multiplayer solo. I do own some Euros in my collection that have great player interaction, like Brass, which I'm still trying to get to the table and such. But when it comes to Garphill Games, I have most of their games. I love what Shem Phillips and S.J. McDonald come out with. Every time they come out with one of their new games, it always intrigues me. I didn't like Wayfarers at first. I played it on TTS, and I don't think TTS is a great place to play Wayfarers. And then when I played it again, I actually liked it a lot more. It's a better game to play in person. But I liked their West Kingdom series, and the first game I played from them was Raiders of the North Sea with the expansions. So Scholars was an easy back for me, and I recently just got to play. So I want to give my first impression. I'm going to just go over a little bit what's going on, because this is a fairly heavy game. Now, the game starts off is you're going to have your own little player board, and you have a few slots to play your action cards. What you're trying to do is hire these scholars who are able to translate certain scrolls into Arabic. So you're going to start with with four scholars on the bottom, and there's always going to be four. Now, to the top, there's going to be a travel area. In the middle, there's going to be the tracks that you can go up on, and then on the right is going to be the library, I believe, where the scrolls will be placed. And there's like a purple, orange, and green towers where you will put your influence in as well. At the top, there's going to be a little caliph area. So when there's 4 caliphs that arrive, then the game is going to end. Now, you're going to have 5 action cards in your hand, and you're going to be giving starting resources. Obviously, there's, you get money, and you get an assortment of dice and some workers. Now, you're going to get your primary colors like blue, red, and white. And then there's going to be secondary colors, which actually the dice look really cool. They're transparent. It's going to be orange, purple, and green. And so on your turn, you're gonna be playing an action card on your slot, and on the bottom of that slot is going to be the action that you're gonna be taking. So it can be hiring a scholar, traveling, moving up on the track, translating a scroll, and so on. Again, I'm not gonna go into too much. So when you play the card, you're gonna be placing dice, which are gonna give you again a certain color. And you can also place workers, which can influence the color. So if you play a blue 1 and then put a blue worker, it is automatically a 6. But you can also play different colored workers to actually turn it into a different color. So you could play red and blue to turn it into a purple die. Or you could do the same with the die itself. You could place 2 dice. And again, they could be different colors, and you could turn it from a white into like a green or an orange, and that could give it, again, certain powers. Now, the color of the dice matter because when you're traveling, when you do the travel action, as you pass certain areas, you'll see on the travels part of the map, there's going to be like orange, green areas. If you're playing a green die, you're going to collect whatever bonus is in that travel action for playing that die. Now, the reason you want to travel is because that's where the scrolls are going to be placed. So when you collect a scroll, you're going to be placing it in the House of Wisdom, in I believe that's what it's called, in one of the 3 towers. So they're going to stay there, and you're going to get, you always have to pay 4 coins to place it in there. And you're gonna collect whatever is in the slot there. So when you place the card there, you collect whatever's there for placing that card. Now, when you play the translate action, you're gonna notice at the top there's gonna be all the same looking people, but there's gonna be several cards for each people, and they can do certain. They each have at the bottom certain languages that they can decrypt. So, for example, there could be one person that can translate Hebrew into Persian, but then there's another one that can do Persian into Arabic. So I'll explain how that translation works. So when you play a recruit action, you can hire one of those translators at the top and then place them at the bottom. Of course, you're going to own that that translator. They work for you. So when somebody uses your translator, you're going to get a coin. Now, at the top of where you place them at the bottom, there's going to be gold symbols. So whenever you have to get something translated, you have to pay that person in gold. So, for example, there'll be like 2 gold on top of that section there. When they get 2 gold, that person retires, and the person who hired them is going to put them under their slot. So where your action board is going to actually get stronger depending on what where you place it. So it's actually hiring scholars is actually a really good thing. Now, when you're playing the translate action, you have to, again, you're gonna take a scroll. So it could be whatever. It could be let's say it's in Persian. So you have to find the scholars at the bottom who could translate Persian. So there could be a scholar that could translate the Persian into Greek. Now you got to pay another scholar that would do Greek into maybe Hebrew. And now there's another scholar that does Hebrew into Arabic. So you have to pay 3 different scholars. Again, they could be your scholars or somebody else's scholars, but you have to be mindful also that when you use somebody else's scholar, you're also making them a little more richer, and also there's a potential that you can make their actions a little bit stronger. So that's roughly how the game plays. Like I said, once the 4 caliphs come out, the caliphs come out every time you do like a travel action. They're in the scroll decks. So when they come out, whatever house has the most influence, some people that person is going to get like certain benefits from that card. So you could get like 4 victory points, some get money, whatever. Each caliph has different things. Now, I forgot to mention, when you get a scroll translated, now you're gonna put that in front of you, and it becomes a little bit of an engine builder. So it could say like, oh, now that since you have this translated, you're gonna get a victory point for every other Persian scroll that's translated and stuff like that. Now, another action you can do is the research. So like I said, in the middle there's all the research section, and you're pretty much moving up on that track. You would have to pay the colored die that you have, and sometimes it'll be like a gold or such to move up. And again, I believe there's like 6 different slot tracks that you move up on. And again, you get stronger as it goes up. You have more die in your bag. I forgot to mention, it's a dice building game, so you're adding dice to your bag, but you don't want to have too many white die, because at the end of the game, they actually give you negative points. And so the person who has the most certain amount of die gets extra victory points at the end. So white die could be very detrimental to you, but there are ways to get rid of it. So the last thing you can do is the rest action. Now, when you rest, it's gonna show where you place your cards on your action board. Usually at the bottom of the cards, they're gonna have like, it shows like the moon action, which means rest, and what happens when you rest. So it could be like, oh, so if you're resting, if your track is on this, wherever your track is on the mathematics, you're gonna take whatever action, whatever resource will be on that mathematics track. So it could be like getting a worker or such. And of course, you would clear board. Everything goes back in your hand. The die go back in your bag. You take out 5 more die, re-roll them, and then start all over again. So that's roughly how the game plays. So what do I think of it so far? Again, this is not a review. This is my first impressions, but this game has potential to be game of the year. Again, I'm not a Euro player, but I find these games fascinating every time I play. I love Paladins. I love the Architects. You know, Viscounts is another game that every time I play it, I'm always thinking about it the next day. Same thing with Wayfarers. I know North Kingdom series was the weaker series, but I do enjoy Raiders a lot. I did play Shipwrights, and I thought it was okay. I thought it was a little too light for my taste, but it was a pretty good game. But these guys, every time they release a new game, they continue these series, it just keeps getting better every single game. And Scholars is a game that I cannot wait to get back to the table. It's really that good. It's long. First, I played a 2-player game, and it can go 3 hours. You know, what the rules teach. It's like, again, it looks heavy from what you're playing, when you look at the board and stuff. But once you, with these designers, once you know what's going on, you catch on really quick. And that's what happened with me. I caught on. Like, you look at the rule book and it's pretty thick, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is gonna be some teach. But somebody told me the game, my buddy told me it, and I caught on really quick. You know, I mean, I did read the book first, but after a while, when you play that first 2-3 turns, you're like, all right, now I know what I'm doing. So, despite being a little bit of a heavy teach, you can catch on very quickly. But yeah, so as of right now, I mean, I again, even though this is not a review, I highly recommend you check this game out. It's really that good. There is player interaction. You know, again, hiring the scholars and stuff. You're pushing their influence out of the towers too. You know, there's a little bit of take that. You know, because you want to try and get have the most influence in one of those 3 towers. But yeah, I'm really fascinated. I mean, I know I don't want to give reviews or any like number scores, but if I had to from that one play, I would probably give it a 9. It's really that freaking good. The only complaint I had about it, again, was the length of it. It was pretty long, and but I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this game, especially heavy Euro players. There's a lot of a lot of different ways to win. I can see replayability being pretty good with this game as well. I know there's always an expansion coming out. I mean, I can't see how you can make this any better, but knowing these guys, they always do have something up their sleeve. But yeah, I'm really enjoying my time with the game so far. I want to do a few more plays before I give my final review. You know, I want to see if there's any like boredom after the second or third game. Maybe see if maybe my feelings about it change. But as of right now, this game is fantastic, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it a lot. So that's going to do it for today. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section. I always answer you guys. Please like, subscribe to this channel, help this little channel grow. You know, I try to do giveaways as much as possible. So being subscribed to the channel gives you more of a chance to win when I do a game giveaway. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, guys. That's Scholars of the South Tigris, First Impressions. Fantastic game so far. So I can recommend it as of right now. Yeah, have a great one, guys.